Sydney Sweeney is trending again. This time, not for a role in Euphoria or White Lotus, but for a pair of jeans. A clever American Eagle ad featuring Sydney just got slammed with backlash over its jeans pun, and it's spiraling into a full-blown political and cultural firestorm. Trump is weighed in, the internet is divided, and Sydney, she's silent. Let's break it all down. On July 23rd, American Eagle released a playful new ad starring Sydney Sweeney. The spot featured Sydney saying, "Genes are passed down from parents to offspring. My genes are blue." It was a clever pun tying biology to denim. But not everyone thought it was funny. Social media lit up, accusing the ad of echoing eugenics. Yes, that eugenics, the long-debunked idea of selective breeding for desirable traits. Critics pointed out her blonde hair and blue eyes as fueling outdated beauty standards. Almost instantly, the campaign slogan, "Sydney Sweeney has great genes," was branded tone-deaf. But fans pushed back, saying the outrage was absurd, and the ad was clearly just about genes. Still, the controversy had already exploded. At first glance, Sydney's line, "My genes are blue," feels like classic ad humor, but critics argue there's more beneath the surface. The pun on genes and genes may seem innocent, but some online voices claim it unintentionally nods to eugenics by highlighting Sydney's stereotypically desirable traits: blonde hair, blue eyes, symmetrical features. To them, the phrase "great genes" feels loaded in a culture already sensitive to representation and exclusion. But let's be real. Is that reading too far into it? The ad never mentions race or genetics beyond a biology joke. Yet in today's climate, context is everything. And when a blonde, blue-eyed celebrity says she has great genes, the internet hears echoes of an ugly past. Whether that was the intent or not, perception became reality, and the backlash was swift. Just when things were simmering, Donald Trump jumped in and poured gasoline on the controversy. Taking to Truth Social, he wrote, "Sydney Sweeney, a registered Republican, has the hottest ad out there. Go get him, Sydney." Suddenly, what began as a quirky jeans campaign turned into a full-blown political moment. Trump's endorsement reframed the ad, not just as marketing, but as culture war ammunition. Now, Sydney wasn't just a Hollywood starlet in denim. She was seen by some as a poster girl for conservative America. The ad, which American Eagle insisted was about nothing but genes, was now a hot topic on Fox News, Twitter, X, and political TikTok. Whether she wanted it or not, Sydney had become a right-wing icon to some, and a lightning rod to others. And just like that, a pun became a political statement. Critics say the outrage isn't really about the jeans pun. It's about who said it. If the same line had come from someone without blonde hair, blue eyes, or conservative ties, would it have sparked this kind of firestorm? Some argue the controversy is less about the ad's wording and more about Sydney Sweeney's perceived identity. Her past headlines, like the MAGA-themed birthday party for her mom, already had some people on edge. So now, even a joke about genes becomes a political Rorschach test. Is Sydney just doing her job as a brand ambassador? Or is she signaling something deeper, intentionally or not? When celebs are even rumored to lean right, it often turns into a media feeding frenzy, which begs the question, is Sydney being unfairly targeted? Or is she caught in the crossfire of a culture war she never signed up for? American Eagle didn't back down. In fact, they doubled down. The brand released a statement saying the campaign is and always was about the genes. They added, "Her genes, her story." In the middle of the firestorm, they leaned into the buzz rather than apologize, an increasingly common move in the age of viral marketing. And it might be working. After Trump's endorsement and the online debate exploded, American Eagle's stock jumped nearly 20%. That's not just a win, it's a marketing jackpot. Some experts say this is textbook viral strategy. Spark conversation, fuel controversy, let the internet do the rest. But others think it's a dangerous game, especially when your brand is now tied to politics. So, did American Eagle just get lucky? Or are they playing 4D chess in the attention economy? On the surface, it's just a jeans ad with a cheeky pun. But online, nothing is just anything anymore. Critics called the Great Genes line a nod to eugenics, triggering a storm over race, beauty standards, and privilege. Then came the reveal. Sydney is a registered Republican. Suddenly, a Denim commercial turned into a debate about political identity in Hollywood. But here's the question. Did the ad ever intend to be political? Or are we so politically charged in 2025 that everything becomes a political litmus test? Some argue Sydney's image, blonde, blue-eyed, all-American, makes her an easy lightning rod. Others say the outrage says more about the audience than the ad. In today's climate, neutrality may be impossible, even when you're just selling jeans. American Eagle didn't flinch. Instead of pulling the ad or apologizing, the brand doubled down. Her jeans, her story. They claimed it was only about denim, not DNA. And the result? Their stock surged by nearly 20%. Marketing experts say they nailed it, turning a social media storm into free publicity worth millions. In an era where outrage fuels virality, brands that lean into the chaos rather than run from it often win. But was this by design or just lucky timing? Some believe American Eagle knew exactly what they were doing by casting Sydney and playing with that controversial jeans pun. Others think they stumbled into it and just managed to ride the wave. Either way, they've now positioned themselves not just as a fashion brand, but as a fearless one. And in 2025, that might be the boldest look of all. Just when things were cooling off, Donald Trump jumped in. On Truth Social, he called Sydney's ad the hottest out there and praised her as a registered Republican. That one post reignited everything. Some cheered, seeing it as proof she's on their side. Others were furious, claiming it politicized a simple denim ad, and like clockwork, both camps took to social media to battle it out. Whether she wanted it or not, Sydney suddenly became a political lightning rod. Again. But here's the twist. Every time Trump mentions a celebrity, it usually helps their brand, at least in the short term. So was this a disaster for Sydney, or a bizarre form of marketing gold? In today's polarized media landscape, Trump's nod can shift the spotlight in ways no PR campaign ever could. Controversy usually scares brands, but not this time. Since the Trump shout-out, American Eagle stock shot up nearly 20%. Marketing experts say the buzz around the ad is worth millions in free publicity. Whether people are loving it or hating it, they're talking about it, and that's marketing gold. The line, "Sydney Sweeney has great jeans," is now viral, plastered across storefronts, TikTok duets, and political commentary videos. American Eagle doubled down, stating it was always about the jeans, distancing from the controversy without pulling the ad. In a time when cancel culture can tank a brand overnight, American Eagle's move seems almost fearless. But is this a lucky break, or are they playing a risky game with public opinion? It's possible Sydney Sweeney just pulled off the ultimate accidental rebrand. While she hasn't said a single word about the controversy, many online now see her as a bold, unapologetic figure, especially among conservative and centrist fans. Trump calling her out as a registered Republican only boosted her status with certain audiences. On TikTok, fans are calling her based, and memes are painting her as a new right-wing icon, whether she asked for that or not. But this shift might also alienate parts of her original fan base, especially younger progressive viewers from shows like Euphoria. The real question is this newfound attention building her audience or splitting it in two? TikTok has become ground zero for how Gen Z processes and reprocesses celebrity scandals. With Sydney Sweeney, creators are reframing the controversy with edits, parodies, and political commentary. Some are sarcastically dubbing her the poster girl of the right, while others are defending her as a victim of online overreaction. The platform's algorithm thrives on polarization. In Sydney's situation, it's perfectly into that chaos. Gen Z isn't just reacting, they're shaping the narrative in real time, and in doing so, they may be redefining what it even means to be controversial. In 2025, a scandal doesn't kill a career, it creates a new brand identity. The only question is, who's writing that brand, the celeb or the algorithm? Sydney Sweeney's controversy has exposed just how split Hollywood and its fan base really is. To conservative viewers, she's a breath of fresh air, unapologetically beautiful, stylish, and possibly Republican. To liberal critics, the ad and her silence signals complicity in outdated beauty ideals and right-wing dog whistles. It's no longer just about movies or talent. It's about whether your values align. Hollywood has always leaned left, but now there's a louder right-wing fan culture demanding representation too. Sydney didn't pick a side publicly, but the public picked it for her. Suddenly, a denim ad becomes a litmus test for where you stand in America's culture war. And in this war, neutrality's a myth. The real question is whether this backlash will damage Sydney's Hollywood future or supercharge it. On one hand, she's now polarizing, which can scare off brands and studios that avoid political noise. But on the other hand, she's more visible than ever. Some marketing experts argue that controversy sells, and Sydney's ad gave American Eagle a 20% stock bump. That's real power. If she plays it smart, stays quiet, stays booked, she might ride this wave into even bigger roles. But if she missteps or gets boxed into the Republican starlet label, her casting options might narrow. In a hyper-political age, perception is currency. And right now, Sydney's account is full of both risk and reward. Let's be honest, without the media cycle, this would have faded in a day. But once headlines tied Sydney's wordplay to eugenics and her voter registration to Trump, it exploded. Outlets on both the left and right jumped in, because clicks mean business. Conservative media used the moment to claim a win for anti-woke culture, while liberal media framed it as a case study in racial insensitivity. But were either sides really trying to understand her, or just using her? In today's outrage economy, the media isn't just reporting culture wars, it's fueling them. Sydney's name was trending not because people were curious, but because she became a symbol. And once you're a symbol, your story is no longer your own.